Hey, it's Grover with Old Ones with Dice. Latest box I got from Blacksite Studios. This should contain the Tier 1 backroom deal for Breacher. Breacher is an ultra-modern, small skirmish game. Kind of set up a little different than a lot of the ultra-modern games, where this one is more cinematic. Think John Wick, Man from Nowhere. You kind of get the idea. So you have a Breacher, which is the person who takes care of business, i.e. John Wick, versus a lot of different foes. So it is a competitive game. So one side doing the OP4, one person with the Breacher. You have customization, different skill levels, different abilities for the Breacher, and the OP4 is built to kind of match with that. So I was really excited. It looks like a game that's going to give you a lot of cinematic moments. And that's what I really like on my tabletop miniatures game. I like to have those quick cinematic moments with a really nice set of terrain. So why don't we jump in here? Let's see what came in the box. Okay, here's the box from Blacksite Studios. I got a shipping notification, I think over the weekend, possibly Monday. And so it showed up today. Let's see what we got in here. This should be the Breacher Tier 1. It would have been the base rules, the activation cards, and the tokens. Let's see what we got in here. Then we have more of the Blacksite Studio. Their black construction paper for shipping. Get rid of that. All right, so this was a little heavier than I expected. Let's see who packed it. I'm guessing Talon. Sometimes I think Talon is the only person who actually packs things there, but I do have cards from other people, Tracy, Doug, some other ones. All right, so we got a set of the contact and civilian decks. We have tokens. And then we got two other boxes. Let's see. Get rid of this. All right, so we got a set of cards. Set that aside. Tokens. I think this had low ammo, I'm guessing. Traps. Let's see. See, these are nice and thick. Some are two-sided. Oh, geez. I don't want to pop these out yet, but these are probably, I'm going to guess, objectives, or I believe these are the Breacher zones. These are the areas where the Breacher is able to deploy into. So let's get this out of the way for now. All right. So this one's pretty light, so I don't know what this is. I think there are record sheets that come with this. Huh. It's interesting. So I get 3 of them? I don't know. Seems kind of expected. I knew there were these kind of stat sheets coming. I know I can print my own, but I assumed I was going to. A little surprised I only see 3 in here. That's a little interesting. Like I said, I would have thought I would have had more than 3 of those. Get rid of that. Now this is the heavy one. There we go. Oh, and she's nice and shiny, so I'm going to get a nice reflection. I do like this cover art. Now, this is by Matt Burns. I have to look up. I think Matt Burns also did, might have worked with Don't Look Back and Violent Dark. On the outro, I'll mention that, whether he was, but I think he also did some of those other games. So this is a nice, I personally like soft cover books. A lot of times I will go through and take these to the printer. They'll cut off this binding and they'll spiral bound these for me so they lay flat. Because a lot of times with the rule book, you want them to lay flat. Though this one's actually not bad. Some just naturally kind of fold back up. So let's take a look here. All right. All right, so section, game overview, core mechanics, setting up, turn sequence. Actually, I like this. This is a nice table of contents. And I like how it's broken down with a heading, melee attacks, make it easier to find. Let's see if there's a glossary. Okay, we've got another copy of this that we could print. Okay, these are the cards. I'm guessing these are the cards that are in here. Now, this is also available as a digital PDF. It comes with, PDF versions of all of this stuff, so you can print your own. The physical Tier 1 I got did come with the PDF for the rulebook. I don't know if it came with the cards. I don't think it did, because it's already, as we can see, I think they're already here. So let's take a look. Okay, so we do kind of have, looks like shortcuts in the back. Rules for your, actually there's a nice glossary kind of in the back. Help you find some of these fast things like the different maneuvers. Okay. I like that layout. Some rule books almost make it hard to find information as you're playing the game and you're sitting there spending, usually your first few games trying to figure out where everything is. So let's take a look real quick. Artwork is, I really like this artwork. Okay, so we have, these are the different agencies the breachers come from. So you don't have to just be combat oriented when you're playing the game. There's also definitely a stealth component and negotiations component, and that's where different groups. So obviously these here are going to be heavy tactical, kind of the opposite. This one's going to be more stealth and negotiation. So different styles of play. Game overview. I see some nice looking Blacksite Studios terrain already. Setting, all right. So I definitely look forward to going through this rulebook more, and I want to get this to the table. I've been playing Ultra Modern for a while. I kind of got out of it a bit. It's something I've been wanting to get back onto the table, and that's when I saw that Blacksite Studio was doing Breacher, I definitely felt it was something I needed to do. I needed to get this back on the tabletop. I did not order any of their miniatures of terrain because honestly, I already have a bunch of kind of modern. Most of it is technically Middle Eastern, North African type terrain. And I have a lot of villains and bad guys and operators and different soldier models already. I also have lots of sources for STL files so I can print my own. Last Thanksgiving, I actually bought the the bank. It's actually a fairly large piece of terrain that is a bank with like different rooms, bank vault, everything, so you can do kind of cops and robbers scenarios. I'm kind of looking for inspiration to take the time to pull that out of the box and get that put together. This might do it. I wouldn't be surprised if that terrain's actually in here somewhere. Kind of paging through here quick, making range attacks. Yeah, this is definitely, I see, we got some good cover rules. Ammo out using grenades. All right, let's just get through here. Okay, melee attacks, sure. Got it. Okay, applying damage and armor. Okay, pre-main operations. Here we go. Here we have some scenarios that are already put out. I recognize this terrain. I think I already have that. Pre-main operations. So here we go. So we have a few actual like scenarios that you can are pre-made, ready to go. Where the breach points. So these, if I understand right, there's going to be the 3 tokens that are here, the 3 large ones. The breacher gets to come in, any of these 3. I believe the op4 is already set up. I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, I'm only now taking a look at the books. I have watched a couple of their introductory kind of how to play games over at Blacksite Studios on their Twitch feed and on their YouTube channel. All right, create instructions on how to make your own scenarios is something I'm definitely interested in. I believe there's also campaign play. So if you want to level up your breacher, get him more equipment. If I understand right, that the op4 the op4 is always designed to match up to how strong your breacher is. So if you have a fairly low level breacher, relatively low skill level, you're going to have fewer and kind of lower level opposing forces. So it kind of balances out that way. Facts, unit references. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here's some of your different breacher specialists. So if you want the hand-to-hand, assault, and the heavy assault. Here's your op4. The street thugs, militia, trained, hired guns. So I believe what you're going to see. Interesting. There's base sizes here. Okay. Oh, interesting. So the breacher is designed to be on a 32 millimeter base. Not sure how critical that is. We'll have to play that through. I know most of my guys are currently 25 millimeter. A lot of them came out of Spectre Operations, 2nd edition, which technically was supposed to be 20 millimeter bases, but honestly, everything I have is already 25, so I just use 25 millimeter bases for them. So I'm curious in the rules to see if that would make, how much of a difference that would make. All right, combat maneuvers. What else we got? Breacher. How to put them. Oh, okay. So we have pre-made breachers. So combat effectiveness, spent cyber cryptocurrency, which I believe is how you buy weapons, skills. So he's got 4 reloads, 2 grenades. He's got 5 slots for suppressors, breaching charges, laser sights, quick draw holsters, armor 2. All right. Some named hired guns. Really like these miniatures that they have in here. Hotel Baghdad. I have not purchased that yet. It's in my wish list with them. Some of these other buildings I think I already have. All right. Let's see. The last thing we have are these cards. I'm not 100% sure what these are. I believe these are your activation cards. So I think it's kind of a random draw activation. If I understood right, kind of glancing through certain things, it was, there's a card for each one of the groups of opposing forces, and then a matching card for the breacher. So the breacher might get 2 or 3 activations at a time. Op4 might get multiple activations at a time. I kind of like random activation rather, maneuver decks. Okay, so these are kind of random cards you're going to do for what the civilians are doing. Target civilians. Let's take a look. So we got civilians. Target civilian will move up to 2 inches and then drop prone. Target civilian move to 4 inches in a random direction, panic. Get to cover, target civilian moves and must end their move touching a piece of terrain if possible. All right, yeah, so we got a bunch of these cards. So I'm guessing these are going to be your non-combatants in the game, how to control them. Nice option. In the past, I've used like old 40K scatter die. Kind of came up with our own rules to move guys randomly, but I like having the deck. So we have contacts. This one. So let's see what kind of cards we have in here. All right, so this would probably activate the trained personnel. So we got the trained. There's the breacher's card. Breacher, so we got a bunch of breacher activation cards. Oh, okay, so he has special breacher. Breacher may take either one combat maneuver or one movement maneuver. And remove at the end of the turn. Breacher, adrenaline. Alright, because you have different types of op force. You have your hired guns, trained. You're going to have your, well, let's just go through this. Civilians. You got trained. Militia, and then street thugs. So if I understand right what I've seen of the game, so when you build you're going to build your breacher first. That's going to determine how many opponents there are, and that Op 4 player then can build their force. So it's generally going to be one breacher versus a half dozen enemy models. Obviously, street thugs are going to be your cheapest. Militia. Once you've determined that, there's going to be a card for each group. Set aside. That's going to align, and I believe there's a breacher card for each one of those. You're going to shuffle it up at every activation. You're going to flip one of those cards. Oh. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's how it works. Random activations. So, I love the artwork on this. I really like the artwork. I really like the way this is laid out so far, what I'm seeing. And again, I have the PDF version that came with it, so I'll probably, a lot of these breacher combat maneuvers, I'll probably just be, printing up those pages, to create some shortcut pages, but looks like they're already in here in the back of the book. You've already got your cards and quick references. Not enough games do this. You'd think this would be common sense that most games would just be set up with, that you would have this already. A good table of content. Looking at the beginning, this is a really nice table of contents. Should be easy. Okay, range attacks. And you should be able to break this down pretty easy and find those rules as you're trying to figure out how to play and run the game. So I look forward to getting this on the table. Like I said, I already have a bunch of miniatures. Just got to finish up a few more guys, find some Op 4, and I think we'll be ready to go. So I'll get this on a tabletop. Once I get on a tabletop, I'll let you guys know what I thought of the game. All right, so we've gone through the rulebook, the tokens, the cards that came with Breacher. So I'm really impressed with the quality of it. As always, Blacksite Studios always puts out a top-notch product. I did double check. In fact, Matt Burns, who wrote this, he also has done Violent Dark, which you can see if I get my hand right up here somewhere. Violent Dark. He also did Don't Look Back, which are, Don't Look Back is definitely one of my favorite games from Blacksite Studios. If you've stuck around this long and you're interested in this type of content, learning about new games, seeing what's coming out, go ahead and do me a favor, hit like, hit subscribe, and until next time, this has been Grover with Old Ones with Dice.